Hey, does your gameplay look like this? But you want to play like...
Be disrespectful, pull up to the funeral, spit in the coffin. Put some more shots in his mouth that they can't see his face, that's for all that talking. Headshot, he ain't gon' make it, his brains on the pavement, no witness, no statement. My killers ain't taking no payment, they said it's for free, point them out, they gon' off him. Gun a nigga down, drop a diss, RP, lil' pint, pour for that drip. All we know, run down, go skits, let my Uda catch him lacking and they hopping out the whip. See all that hate through these Cardis, call that fresh homo for pardon. Casamigos don't sip no Bacardi, rapping Brooklyn like Biggie and Hardy.
Then you're in luck, because in this video, I'm going to show you how to stop playing like a buttery smooth-brained NPC and actually frag out in your games. Obviously, you have to know how to aim. I think with aiming comes two parts, flicks and tracking. Obviously there's a lot more different obscure parts, but generally they stem from those two. Now you may be wondering, what are flicks and what is tracking? Well, luckily for you, we got the power of AI. It defines flicking as a rapid, precise movement of your crosshair to quickly acquire and shoot at a target. This is often accomplished by flicking your wrist and clicking at a precise time to secure the kill. As for tracking, it is defined as the skill of smoothly and accurately following a moving target with your crosshair or aim. Tracking an enemy well can be more effective and consistent than flicking, and it is best to track a target behind cover, then peek and shoot as seen above. This brings up the question, how do I improve my aim? The only real answer to this question is practice. To improve your flicks and tracking in MVS2, I think the best approach is to just actively play the game while focusing on those two aspects, or by practicing on players in the lobby. If you are worried about negatively affecting your KDR with things like missed flicks or poor tracking, you can try practicing in similar games like CAT or MVSD. However, keep in mind that aiming mechanics vary slightly between games. If you specifically want to train your tracking, I suggest playing Rdmpteds Aim Chamber V2.0. However, as stated in the description, you have to join their closed community group and you'll be pending for a little bit, but after you get accepted, provided that you're not an alt account, you should be able to play the game freely and practice your tracking. When peeking around a corner, I see two styles, one with their side to the wall and one with their front to the wall. Personally, I think having your side to the wall is better, and I'll show you why. To shoot past the wall, your torso has to be at least halfway out from the wall or object in the way of the bullet's intended path. As seen here, I was shooting straight ahead, but less than half my torso was peeking, blocking my bullet. However, here, more than half my torso is peeking out, and I can shoot the same shot with no obstructions. Peeking from the side rather than the front leads to sharper and faster peeks, meaning less time to get hit. Peeking from the side also allows you to do quick jump shots. Firstly, you line yourself up sideways with the corner that you want to peek. Then, you jump. At the peak of the jump, right before you start falling, press your D key to move slightly to the right, click on the target on the way down, and press A immediately after firing to get back to cover. As you can see, it is a lot harder to jump peek effectively when facing forward in contrast to facing the side, because more of your body has to peek out and it is harder to get back into cover. Here is an in-game example of utilizing flicking and tracking along with peeking. This spot is an exception to my side to the wall preference because, as you can see, you barely have to move at all to move your torso beyond the halfway point. I know it may be easier said than done, so I suggest you practice peeking in VIP servers with friends or an alt account to get a sort of feel for how far you have to peek certain angles, while also developing the timing and muscle memory needed for peeking quickly and safely. A setup I recommend is using shift lock to position yourself perpendicular to the obstacle you're using as cover, then pressing D for as long as you need to until more than half your torso is clear of the obstacle, then left clicking to shoot and immediately pressing A to get back to cover. These instructions are in the case that you're peeking out to the right. When peeking out to the left, it is the same process except use the opposite sideways controls. My sweet AI friend defines game sense as the ability to understand and predict the dynamics of a game, including anticipating enemy actions, making informed decisions, and adapting to changing situations. It basically just means don't be stupid. Knowing things like good positioning, where your teammates are, the enemy's playstyle, and becoming familiar with the map's choke points are critical to developing good game sense. After all, game sense is really the ability to understand and respond to your surroundings. However, it's good to note that developing game sense does not come without risks. Your current playstyle can always be improved. You can always get better. However, without trying out new strategies, peeks, pushes, or angles, you'll be stuck at your current level of understanding basically forever. As a result, being able to recognize what works and what doesn't work, or simply learning from mistakes can reinforce good gameplay habits. Now, I also brought up the idea of knowing where your own teammates are. Recognizing where your teammates are is very important, because you do not want to die as a result of your teammates' poor positioning, like getting killed from behind. Let's be real here. Most people who play this game have no idea what positioning is in the first place. Being able to recognize your team's weak points on the map can highlight areas that you should focus on to avoid surprises. Also, your teammates have a really nice green happy face above them, which turns red and not so happy when they die. You can use this information to tell when and where enemies are approaching. Overall, implementing all of these ideas into your gameplay will make you a much safer and smarter player. This video is a very surface level guide, but despite that, implementing all these ideas into your gameplay will definitely lead to noticeable improvements within a matter of weeks or even days. If there are any specific mechanics you would like me to demonstrate, feel free to let me know. But for now, thank you for watching.